Welcome to Miss Martin Muses. Welcome to Miss Martin Muses, where we muse upon what makes me laugh, makes me cry, makes me happy, makes me sad, or just really ticks me off. Well, today we're talking about something that makes me laugh, makes me cry, makes me happy, makes me sad, and very rarely really ticks me off. Um, I think the only time I got ticked off with Ireland was a few years ago. And if you know what happened a few years ago, on the other hand, we all know that a lot of people in Ireland are still fighting the good fight. So, yay, Ireland. We love it. This is where I spent my youth. And to tell you the truth, I was sad to leave it all behind me. If you know the song, you know the song. Though he's talking about dairy, but same idea. Oh dear. Good times. Oh, let me put era for Ireland on the hashtag. Kinsale. Yeah, I think the city of Kinsale follows me because for a long time, I did a whole bunch of tweets about him. I think when I was there, I help Irish tourism. So, Ireland, you're welcome. Trying to put the hashtag Teresa travels. These bastards. Oh, pardon my French. Okay, well, hello everyone that is here and everyone that's going to be coming in. It is Jacob Ironside. Hello there. Lovely to see you all. Welcome to Teresa Travels at Miss Martin Muses. It is Corey Cochran. Hello. Thank you for being here. Always great to see you. Oh, a cat is approaching. Gosh, I have had animal issues. Animal issues. I've been dog sitting and cat sitting, and then it turns out I got bit. Yikes, it hurt. Hi, says Biggles. Hello. Welcome to Miss Martin Muses and Teresa Travels. We're going to Kinsale. Way back in the day, I did an article for Drunk 3PO's travel channel about Dingle. And oh my gosh. And I plan on doing the next article I was going to do for him was going to be about Kinsale. Then things happen. Let me put this out. So glad to see you. So glad to see you all. Have you ever been to Kinsale? Have you ever been to Ireland? We love Ireland here at Miss Martin Muses. All right, I have got the link out. Who's writing to me? Um Oh, is that me? Okay, that's me making noise. Let's go ahead and go into the pictures because I love the pictures. Have you been to Kinsale or have you been to Ireland? Have you been to Kinsale? And saving it. Biggles says no and no, never been there. Well, you will one day, Biggles, because one of these days I have said so that I am going to meet everybody in Dublin. And I will show you all around Ireland. We will either together hire a driver or pay for my sister to come over and drive for us. That's the best way to see Ireland. You can take a tour, but it's not the same. It's not the same. When I go, I cannot drive in Ireland because it's on the left side and it's also left, like backwards, stick shift. It's just not safe for me to drive in Ireland. I go by train, I go by bus, I go or I hire a driver. I only hired a driver for one remote place because I wanted to go see the True Cross over at over near Thurles. But beyond that, it's very expensive. But if everyone is pitching in, why it's not so expensive? Well, let's check this out. Let's check this out. What do we have? I always like to give us an orientation. Here you go. We are headed to Ireland. Let me change it here too. Can I do this? Does this work? Yay! You can see me over there in the corner. We are over in Europe by the United Kingdom. Look, there's Norway. Hello, Stieg. Denmark. I think I know someone from Denmark who comes in now and then. Poland, yay, Germany, France, Spain, Ireland. Can you zoom in a little closer? Oh, wrong button. Kinsale! Look at Kinsale. It is there south of Ireland, about 20 minutes away from Cork City. I will for sure be doing Cork City before St. Patrick's Day. It must happen. It will happen. Here by the water. So therefore, like most places, it was founded by Viking types because the monasteries would be here. The Vikings would come in and go. They figured out really quickly that monasteries were where you ripped things off, monasteries, churches, and then they'd stick around. And the reason why I say things are like remote on the coast, because in Ireland, like the Celts, this was before the Normans came over, and obviously the Viking settlers. They just wouldn't tend to be there. They wouldn't be out in these by the ocean like this. And so if you were a monk or a nun or something, though nuns are a little different in Ireland. A lot of the monks would be in these remote places because let's just be honest, you needed to be a man if you were going to live more than 3 seconds. It was really wildernessy. But yeah, chicks would be around. Hello, everyone coming in. Hello, welcome to Miss Martin Muses. We are in Kinsale. We are in Kinsale, Ireland. Ireland, gosh, Ireland. I need to do the American. I cannot do my R's. R's, my R's. I can't even do an American R. Oh, I'm just writing something here. When I went over as a little girl, I actually had some problems. I was seeing like the speech therapist at school, how they pull kids out for 30 minutes. And because my R's were off. And then I get to Ireland and I got it all sorted, but they have like an or sound to it. Um, be a man like Gaston, something like that. Something like that. Cybot's here. We figured out that Abby's had a lot of wealth and none of it invested in security. You are correct. Speaking of which, I think Cybot, you're the one from Denmark, as if I recall correctly. Yes. They showed that really well, frankly, in the Vikings show. That was one of the few things I think they got really historically accurate because you can't have weapons in a monastery and they're peaceful and turning the other cheek and stuff. So they were like, hey, these dudes aren't going to fight. They're just going to let us come in and take everything. And the same way that when they were attacking a town and the Viking dude is all, wait till they're all at mass. Trust me. Yeah, because people would leave their weapons outside. Different time. Jacob Ironside says, I've only been to a border town in Mexico the only time I've been out of the U.S. Oh, you must have been there during a different time, Jacob, because there's no way in hell anyone would go to a border town right now out of their mind. Out of their mind. The only place in Mexico I will go, well, was it Cozumel? Like some of those resorts are still safe because they don't mess with you on those resorts. The cartel actually gets really pissed off if they do. And the other place, because I had a student tell me this, is go ahead and still go to the Shrine of Our Lady of Guadalupe. He said you'll be safe there. He says no one messes with the Lady of Guadalupe. He's like, and she will protect you. Yeah. Jacob Kenobi says, "Oh my gosh, I just started a rumor." Steve Kenobi says, "Hello, I am watching while eating." I knew you were going to do that to me with eggs, right? All right, Steve. I it is Lent. My Lenten penance will be I will try having tomato soup with eggs. There, you happy? Oh, Zybot says Sweden. Oh, mea culpa, mea culpa. Uh, close. Though Denmark, of course, is further south. It's Hastig. So we're still kind of close to you. Okay, Steak is trying to get my stream canceled. I am not going to say that, and I am pointing the finger of oh, ow, I can't because that's the hand that got bit by the dog. Maybe I'll send you a picture. It was vicious. What worried me is my hands are precious because of my livelihood, and the second he bit me, my first thought was, "Oh my gosh, my hand." And then when I realized I could still move my fingers and all that, that there'd been no tendon damage because that's bad. That's bad. Can't play piano, can't play my orchestra instrument. You can conduct, but oh, you need to have that left hand. Okay, zooming in. Oh, this is very blurry. I apologize for the blurriness of this picture. This is a map with a walking tour of Kinsale so you can get a bit of the layout. If you can, take the walking tour, take the self-walking tour, or take the guided tour. Highly recommend taking the guided tour because you will have historians that really know their stuff. Another tour I took, which was so much fun, was the ghost tour. It leaves around, what, 8, 9 o'clock from a local pub, and you walk around these same areas up around here and make a big circle. Just be forewarned that a ghost tour in Ireland, or this particular one, it won't be a typical one. The humor is very farcical over there. If you think of, like, a British pantomime type thing, that's the way it is. So it'll be pretty silly, but lots of history you'll find there. Jacob Ironside says some of those resorts are owned by the cartels. Well, exactly. Yeah. And doesn't that sound awful? Like that's where you're safe. Oh, Steek says no eggs, just soup, no eggs left. Oh, I am sorry. Oh, blame the blur on the on bad weather. Okay, there we are. Blame the blur on bad weather. Oh, let's get to some of my pictures. These were pictures taken over the last 10 years. I am still trying to put into digital form our old pictures from when we lived there. It just takes forever. Here's another little map of the area. Here's Kinsale. Oh, Cork McSherry. These are the fish that you'll find, and they have fishing hotspots and bait. Like a lot of these coastal places, fishing is huge, huge. And when you go to those restaurants and pubs and even the little van things, you're going to see that in a bit. Some of the best fish you will ever have. Corey Cochran says, I hate the norm tourist spots that they're always busy and there are norm better spots to see. They're, yes, I agree with you, which is why I'm always saying, use me, because I can tell you the good places to go in Ireland. So that's the fish. Give you some more perspective. Here is the ocean. Here's the opening to Kinsale Harbor. Here's Kinsale. Gosh, I can't wait to show you all Cork. Cork is my city. Most beautiful city on the planet. On the banks of my own lovely Lee. Battle of Kinsale. Why, yes, precious, there was a Battle of Kinsale. This happened during the whole Jacobin thing. And as usual, it didn't go well for the Irish. Hello, look at everyone saying hello. We believe in saying hello here at Miss Smart Muses. Gosh, I have had such a crap day. My hand, it hurts. Dogs suck. But it wasn't it was my fault, not the dog's fault. Let's start to look at some pictures of Kinsale. Look, this is what you'll see when you enter the city by car, or if you're like me, I took the bus and just got off the bus stop. Here you are. Look, it's a one-way street, so no entry. Love these signs. A little bookshop, little pubs, or little stores here. Gosh, I love it. Look how pretty it is. Even though it's a crap day, don't be feel fooled. If you see all those pictures of Ireland with all the sun, they're lying to you. This is the way Ireland looks most of the time. When you do see the sun come out, it comes out for like 3 seconds. Yeah, here's this city center. You can see um, there's some hotels, I believe, here. People hanging out. I went here after mass. So, and you'll see a lot of people coming after mass. You'll still see that in Ireland when mass time comes around, especially you'll see like the whole town walking in and walking out. Look how gorgeous these buildings are and these doors. Gosh, Ireland, you're so gorgeous. Corey Cochran says, as a history buff, I like going to place off the norm as their pep who know more and also know other cool places with the 20,000 pep in line, and you can take your time. Mm-hmm. Yes. Precisely. And that's why people like to go to Ireland with us. If you don't know any Irish people or people that know the area, you won't get the same experience. Here you get a better idea. Look at this. Oh my gosh. The memories. Lots of people go fishing from here, and you can see the boats. Up here on the hill, right around here, my dad's boss lived here. And when people would go on home leave, like if they would go back to America, often we'd all be cool and let people use each other's houses. There'd be about 6 different Americans that would be working there at the same time in management. And so we spent a really good time up there when I was about 8. I have some really good memories, and we pitched a tent, and me and my brother, we pitched a tent there to look out over the harbor and played games and all that. That was good times, and we bring our skateboard as well. Ireland's a great place to skateboard. The only problem is you got to walk back up the hill again. Look how gorgeous it is. Another perspective. I love these towns because you can walk. It's one of the things that sucks about America. We can't walk anywhere in many places. Like, I was just able to take a bus here, and everywhere you're going to see, I'm going to be walking. See where the little pier thing goes and where people can go with their fish. And fish, rather. Right. What's next? Oh, just another picture here. Is that the same picture from before? Maybe it is. Can't get enough of these. You can also take fishing tours from there or just tours. Just get in a bus and take a tour, or rather a boat, take a tour. All right, we're going to go a little bit here to the origins of Kinsale, and we are going to start at St. Multo's Church. Oh, look, it's in Irish. Iglesia Multos Nueva. As usual, though this church was what, 9th century? Let's see, St. Multo's Church was built by the Normans around, 1200. It was the Normans, not the Vikings, rather. Around 1200 on the site of the 6th century. Yes, the 6th century oratory, and is largely unchanged. A center of uninterrupted Christian worship in the town since that time. It has an impressive tower and a number of stained glass windows and monuments, as well as a rare Easter sepulchre in carved stones. Amongst the impressive tombs in the churchyard are 2 simple graves of the victims of the Lusitania. Oh, that's something you may not also know about Kinsale. The wreck of the Lusitania was right off the coast of Kinsale. Yeah, Balia Starhill, I think it's same. For those of you that tend to watch my videos, probably already know what I'm about to say. 6th century oratory. Well, yes, there has been uninterrupted Christian worship, but if you want to go to mass, you are no longer able to go mass here, not since the 16th century. It is now a Church of Ireland, which is Church of England, and just like any place in Ireland, if you see a church that is older than 1830, you will not be able to have mass there, if you know what I mean. It's a gorgeous church. Lots of our history is in there. But if you want to go to mass, you have to go across the street. It's just part of the history. A lot of Americans don't know this, especially American Catholics, and they get very confused and they don't figure it out. Like if you go to St. Patrick's, you won't have mass there. So just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. It was the site of a monastery, and that's why I say this is where the history of Kinsale begins, because guess what? That's where the Vikings conquered. Okay, they came to get the monks. The church actually, like I said, we see it is from 1200 AD. What does it say? I've never been overseas yet, says Corey Cochran, as Canada doesn't count. Those Normans get around. Well, yes, they did. And without completely doxing me, that's where my people came from. Some shagging happened in Normandy with some Viking, and then they made their way over. Yeah. So, not much of okay. A flat stone carved with a round-handed figure was traditionally rubbed by fishermen's wives to bring their husbands home safe from the sea. Yeah. So this is where Kinsale begins, and there you're going to see something in a wall that will also explain that. Let me go here. I did have pictures from the interior from before, but I couldn't find my digital versions. And again, these churches, Church of Ireland ones, will not often be open during the day. They'll be open on for Sunday. But look at this. Oh, look at this. Gosh darn it, I love it. More than a millennium of people came here. The monks and all that, and the ancient graves. Look at those tombs. Gosh darn it. Yeah, and of course it does have a crypt. It will be a part of the walking tour you will do, and the ghost tour. Here's another perspective. Look at that. Look at that. And you'll see a few modern tombs in here too. They will have concerts. No better place to have a concert than at a medieval church or cathedral, because the acoustics are so good. They have to be, because it was before we had microphones. And just so you'll know, you will not see green. That's another way that you know that you're not at a Catholic place. Green is for Catholicism. Yeah, you'll see that with the British and the royalty as well. When they have shamrocks, it'll usually be white or maybe even orange. But look at that. Gosh, gorgeous. I like this picture. The clouds were so low, they were covering up the tower. It's wild. If you ever land in Ireland in general, but especially if you land in Cork, which is like on top of a hill, sometimes you'll just land and you won't even know you're about to land completely, because of the the clouds, and suddenly you're just like, "Boom, we landed." There were a few times when I was a kid where we would fly into Cork, and they'd be like, "Oops," and have to go back around again. Because of and they'd say a little jokes like, "Oops, we missed the runway, we're gonna try again," but, because clouds and wind, etcetera. When's the last time I flew into Cork? I did not fly into Cork on this trip, but I have previously. But if you want to fly into Cork from the United States, you will usually have to go through Manchester. That's where I usually fly through, or London, and it's a pain in the buttocks. I did it once. Since then, I've decided to just go into Dublin if I'm coming from the US, or if I'm coming from Paris or London, they also have good direct flights into Cork City. Biggle says, "You know what orange is my favorite color, but Ireland green better than orange." Yeah. Though let's just lay it out. I don't often talk about the troubles and all of that. Well, actually, I do obliquely every time. But remember that the Irish flag, the tricolors, it's orange, white, and green, which stands for Catholics and Protestants and peace between them, because people do want peace. Sometimes though it's just a painful reminder, and gosh, in Cork, because Cork got the crap taken out of them. During World War One, they did too. It burned down St. Patrick's Street. Corey Cochran said, "We got our family traced back to Wales and Scotland, Poland, Slovakia, Lithuania, all the way back to 1519. Wow, well done." I have some oral history and some genetic history and some etymology that helps me. Look, there's a sea garden in there. It's like a garden with all sorts of stuff. It's very peaceful, very nice, very lovely. Biggle says there's a fun song about it too. Oh, oh yeah, there's some serious songs. I see around St. Patrick's Day, everyone gets so defensive when I tell them what wearing green means. It's like there's a song about it, the wearing of the green. There's a bloody law against the wearing of the green. Look at these tombs. Gosh, and you'll go traipsing through the countryside and just come across an old church, one that has fallen into ruin or whatever, and you'll see these ancient tombs, stones. Sometimes just a little rock marking the tomb. Hello, welcome everyone coming into Miss Martin Muses. We love sharing my travels. Teresa travels. I think here in the corner is Lithuania one. The people that died in Lithuania. Did I say Lithuania? Lusitania. Holy mother. Sorry. Okay, look at this. I don't. Maybe I say a lot. Look at this, but look at this. I was going to point out the walls here. Okay. The old part of Kinsale is within the walls. Here you got, the oratory and all that. And so this wall will go all the way up and around. Because why did they have walls? For protection. Oops. Wrong button. Here's a closer look at the tomb, and you can see that wall as well. Look at these old houses all made out of stone. Yep. Those are the ones from Lusitania. You can read it here. Richard Chamberlain, somebody Craddock, I believe. Another site you can see of the old wall, the marking of the original part of Kinsale. And see how that's the sign that it's gonna narrow because it's gonna narrow to about 1 lane, goes up, curves around. Dan Blackroyd is here. Hello, Dan Blackroyd. Great to see you. He says, keep all the midgets out with the little wall. Yeah, well, people were smaller. Banned like leprechauns. Hey, well, hey, remember, leprechauns are fairies. You don't say, at least when you're in Ireland. I don't believe in fairies. And oh my gosh, cat. Okay, I don't believe in fairies unless I'm in Ireland. The good people, the fair folk. Only way to go back more is in person, as very few of old records have been digitized. Yeah, they are not. Oh, yeah, just leprechauns. Yeah, precisely. And leprechauns are not good. I mean, fairies are evil. I'm putting together finally the video for Wednesday. It's going to be on the Irish fairies. You don't want to screw around with Irish fairies. I've got all the material together. I just need to finish up the video part. It is hard. It is very hard to do a lot of these videos because a lot of the sources, some of them I've based on some of my old published works that helped, but still, you have to do your own research and cite your sources. No, that means women in in our Irish. You'll find things will be in English and Irish in a lot of places, or just simply Irish, especially in Cork, or if you're in the Gaeltacht in West Cork, and well, generally the West. So this is how you know. And what made me really excited about this restroom, first of all, it's still in Irish, but when you get inside, this is the same crappy bed restroom, same crappy toilet they had when I was a little girl. Look at the door even. I mean, they have not updated it. They just painted it. It's got that old latch. Now watch. Look at that toilet. It's got a string and everything. It's just and it was just as nasty and horrible as it was when I was young. I very deliberately cropped the picture because, like I said, if you looked anywhere lower than that, it wasn't a pretty sight. They spelt man wrong. Ha ha ha. It's fear. Fear is men. F-I fada R. LOL, yes. Soul Assassin here. Good to see crappy restrooms exist in other countries besides America. Yes. Oh gosh, yeah. I am sparing you all by not showing you what is lower than this. I promise you. But this got me really excited. I'm like, okay, the EU hasn't ruined everything in Ireland. A Garda pole. I guess there is a purpose for that. I think it's where you're supposed to go to be safe or for Garda to meet. It's like a meeting up point for the Gardaí. The police. You can tell it's got the blue and all that. Gross. Yes. Oh, trust me. I spared you. You can all thank me later. However, having a disgusting toilet, it just makes sense. It makes sense. Well, I'm trying to look up Garda pole. If anyone knows about the Garda poles, I believe that that's what it is used for. But yay, there it is, right in the middle of town. It's where they all meet to pole dance, says Dan Blackroyd. Oh, I'll tell you, if you've seen a lot of Gardaí, you would not want to see them pole dance. No, it's a safety place and a meetup place, a rendezvous. But it didn't have. Yeah, I need to Google that. See, some of these things I didn't know. When you're little, you don't know, and then when you're older, you don't want to ask. Maybe I should ask next time. And they'll say another American asking. It's like, well, fine. The old fish shed. Go get your fish. Loads of little fish places like this. Here they say the Kinsale Yacht Club. I believe that people who use those boats, you actually have to belong to the club. It's locked up. Like you just can't go off the pier, so you do have to belong. And they got their flags. Well, there's the tricolors. It's a station there, I believe. Yeah, if what's it called? Can't read it. Yeah. And places to park along there. Look. Oh, I know I keep saying look, but look. Very narrow little streets. 'Cause they haven't changed since the medieval times, have they? No, they haven't, precious. Where things were very narrow and they keep the same layout. Let's see. So that's what it'll be like. It's very pedestrian friendly. It's a pain in the arse to drive there. Well, if anyone can Google the Garda pole, every time I look up uh, Garda pole, different things come up. Little shops, little sidewalk cafe. There we go. Oh, not sidewalk cafe. Lime green. That's a strong color choice. Yes. They like to use a lot of those bright colors. See that a lot in Scandinavian as well. And frankly, I think because it usually is so gloomy and dark. Desmond Castle. You can go visit Desmond Castle. I would highly recommend it. Lots of history you'll find from the whole Jacobin thing. It's it was also a workhouse during the famine. Became a winery, I believe. Maybe it still has loads of history in there. I do have pictures from inside Desmond Castle. I just can't find them. So I guess I'm kind of worthless there. But do visit Desmond Castle. It's a pleasant surprise. You're minding your own business. You just go up that street and it's a self tour. The old presbytery, luxury bed and breakfast. Why am I doing a picture of this? Well, because that's where I stayed. I really recommend this B&B. Stay there if you can. I have nothing but lovely things to say about it. Oh, dagnabbit, I had a picture of the actual bedroom but I couldn't find it. Here's what happened. I had to change phones and I hadn't backed things up to the cloud. A lot of pictures that I did take in Kinsale in 2016, I do not have anymore. Or I have to really work to back them up and find it. But this place is lovely and it's the old presbytery. Look, the old presbytery. So you go in, that's where you enter, and they got 2 cute little doggies that'll come up and greet you. How much of Ireland have you seen? Well, I've seen a lot. I lived there for several years, and my folks were really cool about, "We're gonna take advantage of this. We're gonna see everything we can while we're here." Lots of friends from America, family would always also come visit us, which because that's the best way to visit anybody in Europe. Where you don't have to stay in a hotel. So, the only part of Northern Ireland I've never been to is Northern Ireland. When I was there as a kid, there was still stuff going on up there. There were a lot of bombings, a lot of terrorist acts. It 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 just wasn't, we just didn't feel like it was a good idea. And since I've been back, it's like, well, never really felt the urge to go there. I wouldn't mind doing a pilgrimage maybe sometime to St. Patrick's um, thing, but I don't know. I'd have to take a train from Dublin, and I just always tend to hang out in Munster. Oh, saying hello. Why, hello. Everyone's saying hello to each other. We believe in saying hello here at Miss Martin Muses. So let's take a look inside. Look. Oh gosh, I am going to stop saying look, but oh my gosh. It's just gorgeous. I feel like you're stepping into a mini Downton Abbey. The charm there. And here is the little reception area. Gorgeous. They really like to decorate and with, flowers and all sorts of stuff. And you will also see a lot of Catholic trappings in these places. You'll see St. Bridget's crosses and all sorts of good stuff. Penal crosses or crucifixes. I have a penal rosary. Here's the living room area. Got a chaise, got a lovely couch and armchair. They had several books, like a mini library. So I read a lot in here. A television is to the left, but I didn't want to get the television in the picture because, come on. I wanted to keep the charm of it, but most B&Bs will have a common room like this and where you can all gather around and watch the television. Look at this breakfast. Oh wait, okay. Everyone drink when I say look at this. But oh my gosh, this was the friggin' breakfast they gave me. Now, needless to say, it was not finished, but grapefruit juice, coffee. Here is sugar, white sugar, brown sugar cubes, a little crock of butter, toast, soda bread, scones, butter for your scones, smoked salmon, scrambled eggs, white and black blood pudding, and some salad here. Hello, breakfast. Hello, breakfast. There was a saying that they used to tell us in our health home economics classes that you're supposed to eat breakfast like a king, lunch like a lord, and supper like a pauper. And think about it, it makes sense. Because you don't want to eat a lot at night because that's the time when you're going to least be using all the calories. You're minding your own business, you're a peasant or a human, I don't know. Yeah, you need to load up on the calories because you're going to be walking all day. That's always the paradox. You'll go to a place like Ireland and you will eat more than you've ever eaten in your life and you'll lose weight because you're also walking. That's, I swear, the solution to the obesity issue. People need to walk more, but you're constantly walking, doing manual stuff, climbing. Oh my gosh, you're climbing all over the place. As a kid, I remember that. We would walk everywhere. We ride our bikes everywhere. Jacob Ironside says, I like to eat like a hobbit. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, this was one hell of a breakfast. I mean, I think I sometimes cheated. It was, you had to be careful, like, to save for later, like, especially those scones and things. I mainly ate this. Gosh, great breakfast. So you'll get this great breakfast at the Presbytery. All right, I do not have the picture of my bed, but if you want to imagine the bed, imagine a four-poster, big, thick comforter, girly-looking room. It was lovely. Biggle says, hobbits and their 9,000 meals a day. Correct. Okay, here's another view. I told you people were out and about going to and from Mass. There are 3 Catholic churches in Kinsale. Kinsale's not a big place. Okay, but even today with some of the issues in Ireland, you will still find that there is far more religious participation than in other countries. And so, yeah, the Catholic Church is, like, a block away, less than a block away from the St. Multos, one of them. They also have a Carmelite friary there. Oh, I almost said the words, but I didn't. See these very narrow roads? This road is the exit from the other road I told you about. Goes into residential areas. I recalled this. The worst U-turn you will ever have to make in your entire life. So if you are coming well, first of all, if you're going toward this area, you will need to do a very awkward right turn to go up there. If you're coming from the other direction, you have to do like a 180 U-turn. The road here, this leads to more houses, and there was some friends of my parents who lived there. So we used to do that frequently. I didn't walk up there. There was really no reason to. The White Lady Hotel. Nice little hotel pub to the side, based on the legend of the White Lady, which when you are a child scares the crap out of you. There are several versions of the White Lady. The most common one was she was the daughter of a dude, the head of the army or something at Charles Fort. And she was gonna be getting married, but before she got married, she saw a bunch of really gorgeous flowers down at the bottom of the wall by the harbor. So her fiancé goes to pick 'em for her as a wedding day gift. But the dude trips, falls, and dies. In despair, the White Lady then throws herself from the fort, committing suicide. It is said at nighttime, if you're out looking at Charles Fort, we're gonna look at Charles Fort in a second, that you can see her throwing herself from the cliff, her white robes going everywhere. I was terrified I would see her. Her and the banshee scared the crap out of me. There's also another story that she threw herself from Old Head, which you could also see. So either way, you're afraid, if I look out, what if I see her? What if I see her? At the White Lady Hotel. Trips and dies, what a loser. Well, he was a loser. If you look, though, Ireland's treacherous. You need to be careful. The guy shouldn't have tried it. Should have said, "Screw your flowers." Sounds racist. Yeah, I'm surprised they haven't tried to cancel that. Luckily, for the most part in Ireland, they still have a preservation of history there that has not canceled things because they I think they would really have a canary if people tried to cancel these old legends. The same way that the historical places are very, very strictly preserved, even if it'll kill people. Dan Blackbird says, "We only accept white ladies here. That's my impression." Oh my gosh. Little story about Skellig Michael, where they filmed not Star Wars. Very treacherous place. It's very difficult to go out there because it's the ocean is so dangerous, and depending on the weather, then if you can get there, they actually have a sign saying you might die. Okay. The wind will knock you out and over. You got to be very careful. All right, I'm heading out towards a hidden gem. If you go to Kinsale, if you go to Ireland, it's very close from Cork City. 15 minutes by car. It's called the Dock Beach, and you'll see why it's a hidden gem, but that's where I'm headed out. So you just go straight from the city center and start following the sidewalk. It's a shame the crew made it back then, says Dan McCrory. Well, partly how they did it was they just flew in on a helicopter. Folks weren't too incredibly happy with that there because even though they make all these pledges that they're not gonna disturb things, they did. It was accidental, but there were a few things that were disturbed and they had to rebuild. Um, so was such an issue in The Force Awakens that when they went to do The Last Jedi, a good deal of that filming was on a replica, not on Skellig Michael. Skellig Michael was an old monastery. Some really hardcore monks went out there to pray and preserve books. I saw a really cool video. There was a priest who went up there and on the ancient altar said mass. It was gorgeous. And some people just chimed in. They're like, hey, there's a priest who's going to say mass. Oh my gosh, we're in Skellig Michael doing this. Skellig Michael also dates back to the 5th century. St. Brendan and all them were doing stuff. We're going to see more about that when I go to Dingle. Did I go to Skellig Michael? Oh, hell no. But if you want to see beehive huts that are very similar to that, they're on the land. You can see them on the land, so you don't have to bother. I wouldn't have let the Last Jedi people here either. Yeah. Well, they learned. The locals weren't very happy. And the historical preservation people. So we're heading out. And as I'm heading out, there were some boats there. This was not part of the yacht club. And look, they have stairs built into the wall all the way down there where you can get in your little boat and go out and fish. Be careful though, you do not want to go out into the ocean on something like this. This, just out in the harbor, but even the harbor is treacherous, the water. Ireland's water is very dangerous. Here's another view you can get of this. This was at low tide. You can see how nasty it is. And then with high tide, it'll come all the way up to the wall. Here's the main part of Kinsale. So what I've been doing is I've been walking along here. Not as long as it looks. This whole walk will take you about 30 minutes. This place also has a lot of great memories because the daughter of one of my dad's coworkers, they lived out here. So we spent a lot of our childhood having sleepovers in this area and also at the Dock Beach, which you're going to see in a second. They did build a little playground next to there, which I'm not crazy about, but oh well. It's their city. They can do whatever they want. And there's also a little sitting area as well that they did where you can sit and, I don't know, think about humanity. And I guess anytime you can have a playground where you can just tell the kids, oh my gosh, just go over there and run around and get all the energy out of you. You can see some seats here. And people also just sitting on the wall. Dan Blackbird said the water in UK is so dangerous you can't even bathe in it. Interesting. I'm not sure about that. I can just say that the danger of the water in Ireland, which is probably similar to UK, is it's cold. Not as bad as some of the stuff you'll get up around Scandinavia or Iceland and stuff, but it is pretty bad. We used to sometimes dip our toes in and splash around a bit, and your feet just turn red. It's very cold. So you'll get hypothermia. Also, the currents are brutal. If you fall in, you're dead. You're just going to drown. That's what I heard anyways. UK don't bathe anyway. Oh my gosh. Well, if someone in Britain can enlighten us, let me know. I'll say it again, as calm as that water looks, that water is treacherous. I wish I'd have taken a video of it so you could see, like, if I'd have zoomed in, you would see actually how fast the water is moving. And this is just in the harbor. Gosh, I gotta get my butt out there rather. I I'm really wanting to get back to Ireland. I wanna go back to some Scandinavian areas too. I wanna go I did a lot of research on Viking settlements, and it just COVID happened and ruined everything, but, I wanna get back also to I wanna do some immersion in the Gaeltacht. They have a thing where you can do that for a week just to rev up and get my Irish back. See what's left in my brain. Ooh, I almost said look, but I didn't. The memories. Okay, this is that big old there's a big old bridge going from one side of the harbor where I'm walking all the way to the other. This is the remains of a watchtower that they had there. A lot of these were from Britain. They were protecting these ports. The British were well, there were several reasons why, from invasion, from issues going with the Jacobin stuff. Also, they were exploiting them. We'll see that a little bit when we get to Cork. But Kinsale was definitely a vulnerability. So if the Spanish or someone was going to want to get at Britain, they could come in here. So they had like this watchtower. Here's a bit of a closer look. Gosh, we used to walk out over there and just hang out, play around in the field. And good times. All right, this is before I am crossing the bridge. If you go there, listen to me. Stop off here. They are there 365 days a year. The lady told me. It is a fish truck thing, a pizza one, but that's blasphemy. If you go there and you have pizza, you do not deserve to have any happiness in this life. But the fish, oh hell yes, and a little ice cream truck. So this is so you know to go ahead and cross the street. Traditional fish and chips and more. Yikes! You got to, and you're gonna see. This is what you get. Some of the best fish ever. And check out the size of those chips. French fries, whatever we want to call it. Oh my gosh. It is fresh caught. And if you'll look here on the blue sign, I think I don't have it loaded up, but I do have a picture of it. It'll tell you the kind of fish they're cooking the day, and it's usually from fresh catch. So it literally is the catch of the day, and they'll tell you if it's cod, if it's whatever else they had. Chips is correct. Well, yes, of course. That's technically that's yeah, fish and chips. In America, we call them fries. Sometimes I don't want to sound like that stupid American, and people are like, "Oh, she's just trying to, make herself sound, like cultural appropriation." I'm not. My only happiness comes from pizza. Wow. Sorry to hear that. Smothered in vinegar. Yes. Malt vinegar. And yes, sir, I did. I smothered it. So I got that. And you're going to see where I'm going to eat it. Because again, it brought back some memories. All right. This is where the little fish and chips place was. And the ice cream and the pizza. Pizza for Biggles. Okay, you could be a loser and have pizza. I'm gonna have fish and chips. Oh, that's the house. That was my parents' friend's house that would go up when you do that U-turn thing. And now it's the house of my friend. We used to spend time here. So you walk across here, or we used to ride our bikes. This is how you get to this dock beach. Biggle says they are called fries. How dare they call them chips? Time to fight all non-Americans and prove America's best. Yeah, see, Biggles, this is probably I wouldn't want to go to Ireland with you. You'd get us all beat up. This is a view back from where we were. More ships and all the way over here. It is possible to take a ferry from there all the way to over here instead of walking like I did if you want to. Just another one here. Ha ha ha, says Biggles. Yeah, who'll have the last laugh? Be right back. I have to go to a meeting. Oh, why? That's cool. Well, thank you, Biggles. I do appreciate you being here. Um, enjoy the meeting. I hope. I gotta keep my eye on the clock because I gotta go let the dog out. The dog that bit me. Yeah, but hey, it was my fault. I'm still suffering. Oh, how gorgeous! Look at those flowers. Another view back. I'm just gonna start heading the over to the dock area. More pretty flowers. You are correct, Dan Blackroyd. There is nothing better than fresh fish and chips with vinegar, tartar sauce, and lemon wedges. Should be 10 minutes and plenty of salt. Yes. Yeah, don't be a wuss. Go all out. There's a house here, and just this, you can see just lovely flowers. Look at that house. It's got red. Gorgeous. Okay, so you're going over there. There is a pub to the left. I didn't get a picture of the pub. I don't know why. And then you go, and then you'll see a sign. It'll say beach. It's like, oh, okay. It's called we call it the Dock Beach. I think that place is called the Dock because that's where those boats are. Beach this way. Private residence only, it says here. So yeah, people that do live there. So you just go around. It's like, what is this path, pray tell? Well, I will show you, precious. It starts to come to clearance. You can see the ocean's coming up, and boom! Look, we're almost there. And an amazing view of Charles Fort. Charles Fort is huge. Best view you'll get of it. That's another reason you need to go to the Dock Beach. So you can imagine if you're the white lady and you're jumping off there, you could get yourself killed. It's a very small little beach, but it's a fun beach. Here you get a better view of the beach. And yes, there are people actually kind of wading in the water like they're crazy. Someone brought out their dog. The dogs were having fun. Someone who was insane was doing one of those gondola whatever things. Oh, and if you turn around, that's the view that will meet you. So that's how you know how to go out. See, look at that little house and little fence. Okay, and then to the left. The reason why I have this picture to the left is there is a very small, teeny tiny little path. Blink and you'll miss it, but when you find it, you'll find it. And then you follow that path. No. Before you follow that path, you sit and you have, look, the tartar sauce is there, your fish and your chips. We used to have little picnics here and in the shelter of the rocks. so the wind wouldn't get you, so I did it. I was all by myself, and I didn't care. I had a little picnic with just my fish and my chips, and I think I got a oh my gosh, my cat. I got a water or something, but yes, back to here. You go up this path, and you need to be a bit patient because then you'll walk about 5 minutes along this path, and you're thinking, "What am I doing in the middle of this field?" I'll tell you, precious. You're here to see this. This is not as well kept. Of course, this is James Fort. I have more detailed pictures, maybe I'll find them later, and not it is in disarray, it's unlike Charles Fort. So you won't have to pay admission to go here, and it's just right there, but it's across from Charles Fort, because so you had James Fort on one side, Charles Fort on the other, they were guarding the area, so this is, again, a hidden gem. Yeah, at least a good white lady had a good view. Oh, you guys are awful. Good view while it lasted. Excellent. Yes, it was. Dan Blackbright says, even if you are eating fish and chips at home, always keep it in the cardboard box. Never use a plate. Oh, yeah. Gosh, what kind of losers do that? Jacob, that won the that won the comment of the day. But yes, James Fort. So have fun around there. What's also cool about a lot of these forts, the ones that are not where you have to pay admission, you could go there at night. You can go there in the middle of the night. You could even camp there. No one would know or care, and, like, just play Middle Ages. It's just fun. You can get to James Fort from the other direction because, like, I did not walk all the way back. You can just walk forward, and then you'll be where the dock is where you can catch the boat. So instead of turning into the dock beach, if you just keep following the road, you will get there. Dan Blackbird says, "It's 8:30 AM, and I feel like fish and chips." Great. Well, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. Actually, it's gonna be 5 o'clock where I am. So James Fort, and I think that's the last of it. Oh, that's the wrong button. Do I have anything else? Yeah. Oh, this is from my Solfege one about Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I talk about one that's taken me forever because I've had to do a lot of research on this to make it comprehensible. But that is the end of my Kinsale. Go there and go at night at the pubs. There's not a pub in Ireland where there won't be live music every night. And they have more pubs than they even have churches in these places. I mean, there are so many pubs. Um, I before I went to the ghost tour, I had a amazing fish meal. Oh gosh, amazing. But yeah, but these are my haunts in my youth, and again, this is a very good way you can get yourself to the beach, especially if you don't have a car. And if you can only get there by bus, this is how you can have a beach experience. When the weather is nice, this place will be packed. I do have a picture, an old picture, somewhere of that, and you can't even move. Everyone will be there. Now we're going backwards. I sometimes like to do this. Jacob Ironside says, if you make the fish and chips yourself, you'd better get a box to eat it out of. Truth. Oh, the memories. It gets so cold over there. Even though temperature-wise it may not be cold, but when you combine the weather, the wind, and the rain, you just have a unique way of getting chilly. And there's nothing nicer than coming back from a walk like this. I did this with my sister and her then boyfriend, now my brother-in-law, back when we were in college. We wanted to take him there to see. We were so cold, and we went into one of those little hole in the wall pub places, and they had piping hot carrot soup with soda bread, and it will be the best you've ever had. Because we were so cold. Luckily, no idiot has done a stupid lawsuit in Ireland about things being hot. You will still have the tea and the coffee and the soup served piping hot. I might retweet some of my videos I made when I was there. I put them on Twitter, and I think I have them under Teresa Travels. I should. If I don't, I'm a bad girl. My next video will be Cork City. Probably all week it'll be Ireland because of St. Patrick. We not only have St. Patrick to be grateful to for the gift of the bringing the faith to Ireland, but he also helped with the Irish language. A lot of people don't know that. Rather, the written part of the Irish language. He had to throw in a few loan words from Latin, particularly because if you read back then, you read in Latin, but there were vernacular writings. There were vernacular writings of the Bible. It's a myth that it's not. That was some propaganda for reasons that I probably won't go into unless I do a specific video about it. But one of these days, I did a lot of Renaissance and Reformation studies. I do have a BA in all of that, Bachelor of Arts. You could find the sacred writings in the vernacular. However, again, most people, if you read Latin because that was the universal. And for the same reason that in many ways I think Latin's good nowadays for worship, it's because when you have people from all over the place, Latin will be your common language so you can all worship together and not be like a Tower of Babel. But yes, we have St. Patrick to thank for a lot of literacy in Ireland. It's a myth about the snakes. A lot of his stories are mythological. They're not based in fact, they're instructional. Maybe I'll get into that when I talk about St. Patrick. I have a biography of St. Patrick upcoming. That will be on Friday for St. Patrick's Day. It will be a video. A lot of them are legends, but they were instructional languages. In legends, they were to teach you. Well, hello there, Zach. Thank you for being here. We are talking about Kinsale. Have you ever been to Kinsale? Have you ever been to Ireland? And the correct answer is yes, you should have been. And if you haven't, how dare you? No. One of these days, we're all going to meet up in Dublin and I will be your tour guide so you can properly see Ireland. Kinsale is a very hidden gem. About 15-20 minutes from Cork by car and by bus. I took the bus because I can't drive over there. Unfortunately not, says Zach, someday. Yes, you will someday. Good fish, good food. Check out the Dock Beach. You got a lot of history there. The Kinsale started around the 6th century with the monastery, the oratory rather, monastery, same idea. And a lot of fishing goes on here. A lot of ghosts, scary stories. Hello, Atomic Ranger 76. Kinsale, not Kinsale, one more. Did I say it wrong? It's Kinsale. Or if you want to be fussy, it's Contoila in Irish. Oh, no, I was. Oh, did you erase it? Okay, because I was thinking, "Oh my gosh, it's horrible." Yeah, and, because I'm a little fussy because I am a historian, geographer. Gosh, I'm a lot of things. I spent half my life in college because I had nothing better to do. Archaeology, though my archaeology is rather, let me rephrase that. It's anthropology. Is what I have my certification in, and archaeology was only a small portion of that. It was more some of the social anthropology, but I do like the archaeology aspects of it. See, Kinsale, directly translated in Irish, a lot of these names do not translate at all. I always love it that you got Dublin, and then in Irish it's via Ahaclia, not even close. Um, Kiontoila, yeah, head of the brine is what that translates into. You will always find both the Irish and the English with on all the signs, on all of the tourist things, on all official documents, and Contoila. Okay, yeah. Let me spell it for you. That's all right, Atomic Ranger, but I was just paranoid because I'm fussy. Contoila, and the T is like a T with a, is it Aile? I'm gonna double check the spelling so I don't say it wrong. A lot of what I know in Irish is oral. It is not uh written. And I didn't put the fada in there. And it should have a fada over the A. Like Cork, my Cork, which is gonna be my next one. It's going to be well, Cork is Corkic. Now, Kinsale is in Cork, County Cork, but not Gaelic sounds a lot like coughing sometimes. Yeah. Well, technically, Gaelic is more of an adjective. The language is Gaeilge, the Irish language, because the Gaeilge is when you're referring to Irish, and I think that Scottish is another name, but I don't know Scottish, and I will really sound ignorant. I have found though that I do understand portions of the Scottish language. They're similar, and I only know that because of watching Outlander. I'm like, "Wait a second. I know that word. I know that." Well, Welsh, no prayer. So your kin not sail on Kinsale for crying. Yeah. And I think Kinsale, it says, "What does Kinsale mean in Irish?" Head of the, I don't know what Kinsale actually means. Because sometimes, like the word like Dublin, that has more to do with something completely different, not like the black marsh of on the swamp or something, which that translate to. It's also sometimes known as the gourmet capital of the world of Ireland. Rather, they have unbelievable restaurants. They also have fierce, fancy restaurants as well. So if you want to go and spend like a few $100s and just have the best fancy meal of your life, do it. Okay, this is going to get ugly. A cat needs to move. Maybe she was quiet. She didn't care. Con sale, maybe, or can sale. Oh gosh, this is awful. If any Irish people come in, mea culpa, mea maxima culpa. Yeah, of course, I've got tons more on Cork. Um, Good times. If gosh darn it, COVID ruined everything. And then some other things happened. A lot of my family got sick. I mean, I had two very dear family members having cancer at the same time. And then I was like, "Oh crap, my passport has expired," though it was expired only by like a month. So it wasn't a pain in the buttocks to renew, but I'm still waiting for it to come in the mail. So I can't do anything until I get that back. But without giving anything away, because I don't like to think about this, in about 10, 15 years, I'm going to do nothing but be traveling. I've already got it all planned out. I'm just going to go everywhere. And when I say I don't want to think about it, is because it'll be after, I've got some family that has about 10, 15 years left, and they've even told me that's what they want me to do. And I'm going to do it. But I'd rather have my family, if you know what I mean. I'm sailing. Yes, we believe in sailing here at Miss Martin Muses. Don't try to sail yourself. I don't even think they will let you in these places around Ireland because you will die. Just hire somebody. You can take official tours, you can hire a boat. That's the best way to do it. Don't die. It's not worth it. All right, I need to cut off this party because I have a dog who I'm mad at right now, but it wasn't his fault. That I need to let out. I'm dog sitting. And I've got 4 cats to feed that aren't mine because I'm cat sitting as well. So it's a bit of a zoo in my territory. So I need to go over there and take care. And I really appreciate all of you being here. And I love sharing what I love with you all. And again, maybe one day the plan is we just meet up in Dublin. And then that way we don't have to be weird about like if we all turn out to be serial killers, we're in a public place, so we're safe. Dan Blackwood said everyone should solo sail around the globe. Nothing bad will happen. Okay, if I ever do a sail around the world, it'll be one of those cruises that you can do. I'm not ever doing anything myself. I barely want to drive myself. Thank you, Dan Blackroyd, for being here. Thank you, Jacob Ironside. Thank you, Atomic Ranger 76. We had Zach. Thank you for being here. Biggles had to go to a meeting. Let's see. I'm going to get everyone. Soul Assassin, Corey Cochran, Steve popped in. Zybot came over from Sweden. Hey, he lives in treacherous territory. You touch that water for more than 5 minutes, you dead. You will die of hypothermia. That's what killed all the people on Titanic. Thank you for being here. And thank you, everyone who will be watching on the replay. I do appreciate you all. And I love you being here. I'm moving on my journey to 1,000. Get so close I can taste it. Though I'm completely convinced that the second I hit 1,000, YouTube's gonna go, we changed the rules. It has to be 10,000 now. Oh, thank you, Zach. It's always great to see you. You're traveling full sometimes as well. Well, have a great day, everyone. Have a great day. And be certain, if you're getting married in Charles Fort, do not allow your fiance to climb down to get flowers for you.